Mic.
Alright, now we're going.
All right, we're live, and I'm still butchering this
I
mic.
fucked that up already. Lucky I double checked. Gotta double check your lines, man.
All right, there we go.
Alright, cheers, Paul. You're back.
Cheers. Good to be back, Jarvis.
Episode 27.
Episode 27. Let me just make this note. No, the dogs have not eaten.
I'm drinking a lobster reef from Marlboro. Sauvignon Blanc 2022.
You're drinking that.
That's what I'm at. I'm on white.
I'm drinking the Ancient Peaks Zinfandel from Paso Robles 2020. This is really kind of nice. Most of the stuff's Santa Margarita, ranch. Most of your wines out of Paso are very, very palatable, really nice. But the crazy thing about this one, it's 14.1%, which is normally coming out of the bottle hot, and it's just a soft Zinfandel. So there it is, right there, and right there for you TikTokers.
Ancient Peaks.
Hey, you're not mic'd.
Right here. That's for Marlena.
Oh, for Marlena. Hey, Marlena. When she gets here. When she makes it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, hey,
everybody else makes it.
fresh back. I think.
Let's see, 2020.
I'll let my buddy know about it. Don't worry.
They got it at 35 degrees north, 120 degrees west. Alluvium, a chalet, and volcanic. Alluvium. I don't even know what that is. Produced and part by Ancient Peaks Winery in Paso Robles, California.
Sorry, trying to do too many things here at once. Anyway,
our estate is Margarita Vineyard.
Santa Margarita.
Stands alone apart from the southernmost vineyard in the Paso Robles region. Tucked beneath the peaks of the Santa Lucia Mountains, just 14 miles from the Pacific Ocean. That's not bad. Our Santa Margarita wines, almost rare delivery, and
they still get some Pacific breeze there in Paso, especially where they're located.
Unmistakable sense of a place. Fine structure, deep flavors that are native to the Margarita Vineyard. 2020 Zinfandel offers a round, juicy flavor of cherry, raspberry, wild berry, and some peppery spice. Recommended pairings include wood-fired pizza, smoked chicken, lasagna, and tri-steak. I almost thought I said kangaroo, but lasagna and
Gotta apologize to these people over here. This is boring for them.
Which part?
Over here. I mean, I'm just sitting here. I'm texting people, and you're on TikTok.
Yeah, they can hear it still. I'm reading the label.
No, that's all right. So here it is. Here we are. We're like 2 weeks removed from Burning Man, and just getting back to the podcast because last week you put the interview that I had with Robin from Vines Without Borders on the podcast, and I thought it was, for me, it was just a breath of fresh air at Burning Man to actually have a guy like that out there serving really fine wines. And like I said during the interview, I mean, much like Marlena does here, a plethora of wines, not just from one area. That's what Wines Without Borders is all about. Wines Without Borders is about like not staying focuswillamette in one spot. No, we're just not Napa Valley, or we are just not Willamette Valley or Ashland, Oregon, or anything like that. It's like New Zealand, Chile. They were tasting champagne from Spain, champagne from France. They were highlighting French champagnes. They were doing some really kind of cool tastings at night. and drinking out of stemware instead of plastic glasses. So,
Oh, okay.
at least when I was there, they had these nice tumblers, Govinas is what they're called, the little plastic glasses with the Vines Without Borders label on them. So when they did the tastings, you got to take that home. Kind of cool. The whole vibe there, and then pairing it with some food they had their own private chef there, which was mainly for the people that were in the camp, but they were bringing things out when they were doing these special tastings. And Robin and his crew, I think, top notch, really, really did it good. There was one other group that I did not get to because of constraints with rain at times and wind. It was kind of a all-inclusive weather Burning Man versus like last year when it was 105 degrees every day.
But back to the wine tasting place. Where were they from outside of Burning Man?
Well, actually, one of their members was a gal from Lafayette, and she actually is going to come by here and talk to Marlena. She's a wine broker, I would say, but she does small boutique wineries, and she tries to promote those. So I said, hey, go. I gave her her card, and I got her card back at the house. We'll try to make them get them hooked up. But it was all about, Robin. There were, I want to say, I mean, I don't know his origin, but he's definitely has an accent, and he's not from California. Canada. He's from Canada. He's Canadian, and that's what's kind of cool. I mean, to have somebody from Canada come down and drop that knowledge on me was, because I'm just a wine aficionado, I'm not a snob. I love wine, and to be able to look at it through his eyes, to me, it was like in the middle of a desert too. Sometimes in the storm, it was kind of cool. I'd do it again, and I definitely, he'll be on my list every year I go. And I invited them, come over to Brain Freeze, drink some frozen margaritas. But again, right after I did the podcast is when the storm came in, and we had 3 months worth of rain in one night there, and that's when it got kind of ugly, right? And we couldn't really do a lot there at Burning Man. I mean, I was working the bar at Brain Freeze and trying to keep our roof from falling in because we didn't have posts up top to push the rain off. It kind of sagged. We had trusses. It's an excellent structure, but next year, just in case, we're going to have some poles. We did have some poles that we put up afterwards, and they kept all the tarps from sagging, and it kept us open. We stayed open during that torrential downpour till 10 o'clock at night. Actually, it was 11 o'clock at night, and people were in good spirits, and people were stuck there. People who were riding their bikes, they couldn't go anywhere because you couldn't ride your bike in the mud. Mud sticks on the tires, and you had to try to pick it up, and then you're adding 50 pounds worth of mud to your bike on the tires. It just was it was a honker down, stay where you are type of thing. Get to know your neighbor. If you're in somewhere, if you're in a bar, or if you're next door, whatever, you're not going to go and try to walk home if you're 5 miles across the city. It's a long ways to travel.
Let me ask you: was there thunder and lightning?
No.
You guys had to shelter in place?
It was everything. Thunder and lightning. There were times where they said they wanted you get on.
Like a monsoon, or like?
It was at times. It was. They tell you, you get on Burning Man radio, and they're the ones they're kind of like the official quote unquote weatherman / emergency information.
Yeah.
And it was they're definitely making it out a little bit worse than it is because they want people to be safe. We just kind of like they want and by all means they don't want people going out to the middle of the playa in the middle of a mud, torrential downpour, get stuck out there, and wind and temperature drop out in the middle of a desert, hypothermia could set in because nobody's dressed for like winter weather. At least there's some people who weren't. Most people weren't.
Yeah.
And if you get out there and you get stuck, like I did, I actually got stuck in the middle of the day coming back when the rain really started coming down. I'm riding my bike back. I've got some video. I could send it to you, and maybe you could post it on the website. Riding my bike back, and all of a sudden it was a whiteout, and you could see on my bike mounted video that all of a sudden I couldn't see anything, and then you hear the raindrops start hitting the phone, and you could hear it, and in my voice, and I luckily drove up on this structure, which is a giant cat play structure.
Yeah.
So I parked my bike around the backside of where the wind wasn't hitting. I climbed inside that boy. Luckily enough, it was oversized. It was part of the artwork there.
Was it carpeted like a cat scratch?
It was carpeted, cat scratch. Had the rope, cat scratch, little on the poles there. You'll see it on the video. I'll send it to you.
Do people bring their pets and animals out there?
No. Pets,
not allowed?
Pets are not allowed. Even service dogs are not allowed. One person I saw that did have a dog out there, and they snuck him in. They don't allow pets to be out there. It's just strictly humans. If you got your toy that's on a leash or something like that.
Yeah.
But not animals. No, animals are not allowed.
Probably wasn't healthy for them.
No. I don't know. So anyway, I spent about a half an hour in that cat structure waiting for the monsoon or the whiteout to go by, and I got back, and it's crazy because it'll go as fast as it'll come. But this year was kind of a little bit weird with that wet weather. It put a damper on a lot of people's burn, but to me it lifted the spirits of a lot of people too, because they saw what it's like to struggle, and then to be able to be helped by somebody like right next door, or that's right, not only in your camp or maybe to the camp next to you. That kind of that human spirit that kind of just picks you up. That's even in the face of the adversity, that you could still rise above it. And that to me was like, that's like why I bartend at festivals, right? I go to Outside Lands or Bottle Rock, and the good thing about that is I see people at their absolute happiest, and that's what kind of Burning Man is to me when I go out there. You see people at their absolute happiness. You see, and if you approach it non-judgmentally, like everybody, that is on Twitter or X, whatever, or on TikTok, you see the comments and all the, bashing and stuff. That's not being non-judgmental, okay? That's just trying to capitalize on somebody else's grief. But guess what? There wasn't a lot of grief out there, fools. Okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you a fool. But yeah. To me, it was definitely a triumph of human spirit.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of things were exaggerated, it seemed.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I got it. I got phone call because my ride that was out there, Carlos, he's a first responder, so he's got this 900 megahertz phone, so he was able to get phone calls and had the Wi-Fi. And my girlfriend had called, and she said, "Oh my God, they said the government is shutting the doors and not letting anybody in because there's this fever or some disease that's going around, right?"
It's like,
the amount of bullshit. It's like Fox News was reporting on it, or CNN. Come on, seriously. We were all alive and well. Nobody was hurting. One person did unfortunately pass away, and had something to do with the mud. And an inebriation, and I don't want to speculate. And there was every time at night or you hear a helicopter. That's the great thing about Burning Man is they have a top-notch crew. Black Rock Rangers keep an eye on people. They're not a police force, but there is a police force there as well. And they stay on top of like people that might be, having some difficulties or maybe ODing, some of that nature. Every time you hear a helicopter go, you think the worst. But a lot of times, it's not a medevac. It's could be a press helicopter or something like that.
Jeff Bezos flying in.
Yeah, could be. I mean, there is a lot of that. I mean, you go out by the airport. I mean, it's a whole different world out there. There's some camps out there, some really, really nice glamp camps. But they're supposed to be all inclusive. I didn't go to those. I just didn't want to take the time to go out there, and I'll do that next year, I think.
These got 9 square miles or something?
It's like a 9-mile loop around the outside, not including out by the airport. This is just the fence. The fence where the artwork is between 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock, and then the city's between 2 and 10 this way. 7 miles that way. All right, so then you think about that, just 2 to 10. What is it 10 to 2? You math experts, you tell me.
14.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, next year I'm going to do a lot more exploring. This year I was in charge of camp events, so something was going on every day at my camp. The first 3 days we're setting it up. We got to build the structure. But then we had actually built the structure, and we weren't supposed to open until Monday. We opened that Saturday before all the rest of the burners came in on Sunday.
And it rained before you guys got there,
It did. Right? It rained before we got there, but it had dried out, and it was fine by the time we got there. I mean, it was 2 inches of rain out where our camp was, and the camp next to us, 5:30 and over, they were still mushy. Well, ours was nice, set. Got our camp set up. I built a shower, brand new shower, out of what the pieces were from last year, and I built staircase up to it. I mean, it's all part about building the infrastructure first. When you get part of a work access pass, you go in early, and I love it. You go in there and you hang out with your buddies early. We got that bar up so quick that we started mixing frozen margaritas at Saturday night. We weren't supposed to open till Monday. And we were open till Saturday night till like fucking midnight. People kept coming in, the people from other builds, and goes, "You serving? We go, "Fuck yeah, come on in." So
that's cool.
2 days of that, we're open till 11 on Sunday, and then that's when everybody came in, and then everybody else is setting up, and they're getting their camps all set up. So it kind of actually died off, for a little bit. Monday night was picked up a little bit. But then the Tuesday, our activities kicked in, and all the stuff that I had planned for our camp, which was Monday, we had Pyro 101, where we had about 60 people at that group. We had our experts talk about pyrotechnics and what it takes to be on a pyrotechnic crew. Showed them charges of the electronics that go into like setting the mortars off, and then explain to them, like, if you become part of a pyrotechnic crew, you're just going to be, keeping the perimeter clear at first, picking up all the pieces that blow out afterwards, because there's a lot of garbage that comes out, and in the desert, we're supposed to pick all that stuff up. So Monday night we put on a fireworks at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30,
AM or
7:30,
PM?
8:30, 9:30, 10:30. No, all the way around the city. The city's set up like a
Oh,
clock.
okay. You're talking about on the clock.
It all went off
But
at
not
the same
at
time.
night.
Yeah. For 15 minutes we put on a fireworks show, and it was like welcome to Burning Man, and it was awesome being part of that. I tried filming it. I was filming the whole damn thing. I pushed the button at the wrong time. I actually turned it off.
Yeah, I've done that
So
1,000
I
times.
hate it. I mean, I got a lot of pictures of us setting it up and getting ready. So anyway, that Pyro 101 was a class. 60 people were there, and they all ended up working for us. Then Tuesday we had I had Burning Man trivia, which went over pretty well. Gave away 2 cases of wine for prizes. Um, Tuesday night we had a disco party with the disco ball, and everybody was in their old angel flights and all that shit. That went good because we had a DJ. And then Wednesday was Wedding Wednesday, where I officiated as dressed as Morpheus from The Matrix. I officiated 27 weddings.
You didn't get that video. No.
I do have some. I have
You have
pictures.
some?
I have some pictures, and I do have a video. I'm just waiting for that. I'll send you that too.
Well, somebody took a video.
26 couples married, and 1 girl married herself. And that was probably the most inspirational ceremony that I did that whole day. It was the last one, and there were tears. It was really nice. Very fun to be able to officiate the joining of people. You know, it was just kind of cool. And I am registered as I'm a clergyman in the county of Pershing there. So they're all official. You know, they may think they're sham marriage, but they're real.
Yeah, but that sounds like a new.
It is.
New Supreme Court decisions coming out.
No, wait.
I want to marry myself.
It is because I said that I could do it, right? You know.
It's been done. Somebody married themselves.
I'm gonna go to the Trump card.
That's
and say
where it starts.
I can do whatever I want.
It starts with 1. I married myself. I need a tax write-off. I got
Absolutely.
1 dependent. You know, I like to leave everything to myself.
And then then that Wednesday we had a mutant vehicle regatta where a bunch of mutant vehicles. Started with our buddy Chris Tingle. He's got his own boat that he drives around, a boat that people could get in, and he'll take them for rides. And it's called an art car, blaring music. It's got lights all over it. Bunch of other guys, and they all pull up, and they have frozen margaritas afterwards. Then Thursday we made these right here. Take a look at that real close. These are little playa in the bottle. So we made these, and as part of other bracelet making type thing, structures. And it was like 3 hours. We had people just sitting there at camp drinking and making stuff.
I brought back the mud.
Yeah, well, there was no. This is prior to mud.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night we had a live jam. One of our members is a excellent guitarist, and he's one of the head burners, and he played, and rolled right into Friday, which is when I got my first day off, and that's when the rain came down. So my first day off from all events, the rain starts coming down. Tried to get out as much as possible. Difficult. That Friday, actually Friday morning, was the day that I was able to record that video with Robin. But after that, it just started coming down. And
what about on the way up? You made some traffic, or you didn't run
there
into
was a huge traffic jam. There was a big rig that had turned over just north of Davis.
Oh.
And as we pulled up, my Waze told me it said, hey, it's done. So we were just right next to the on-ramp, and people were backing down the on-ramp. Carlos pulled this truck over the thing. We pulled the U-turn and drove down the on-ramp, then went over and crossed through the campus of Davis just to get around it. And it put us, there was a good 25-minute delay. When we got back on the freeway and we were driving, it was like driving during the pandemic. Nobody on the freeway in front of us, nobody around us. It was incredible.
I've been around UC Davis.
Yeah, and we skated all the way up to Reno. I mean, with literally, like, we got a little bit of traffic when we got up to Sacramento that joined. Mm-hmm. But after that, man, straight into Reno. Yeah, it was cool.
All right, so we got there. How'd you get back?
Oh, yeah, everybody wants to know.
Boy, everyone wants to know.
How'd you get
How
back?
did you get back?
Well, I was on this. I just decided to go because, all right. So my ride, he didn't have his son. We couldn't get him on the. He's supposed to be riding the burner bus, the express burner bus, back to Reno, and then he was flying home because he had to go to college on Tuesday morning. Burner buses weren't going back.
Yeah.
You had to go out to there's the gate where you come in where they take your ticket, right? And then there's the gate where you come in, which is at the interstate. And that's like a 6-mile drive. Something like that. I don't know. So if you wanted to leave, you had to walk out, give them your bags. They drive your bags through the mud and stuff to the highway, and they put them there, and then you walk out and you catch the bus on the highway. That's what you had to do. That's what Chris Rock did. That's what Diplo did.
Yeah.
There was no way they could get out, right? So unless of course you had 4-wheel drive all-terrain,
Planes were grounded.
They were allowing that. But they did. Those guys, they didn't have entourages with them. They just came in like on flights, and they had to get out. But the airport was shut down.
Yeah.
So they were just trying to get out any way they could, and they hitchhiked out, man. And more power to them. I mean, they went through the Burning Man experience, albeit a difficult one. They overcame it, and they got out with a friend, with help from fucking strangers. That's what it's all about. To be able to, first of all, to be able to say Chris Rock was in the back of my pickup truck, and Diplo, they were cruising. I mean, I don't know. If I was that guy driving that pickup truck, I would have been asking for tickets for days, right? For every concert Diplo had. And
I was thinking the other part was like, wasn't that illegal riding in the back of the truck?
It's totally illegal. Well, not in Nevada, I know.
But maybe under circumstances, right?
Well, also on reservation
Nobody's
land, it's no big. I don't. No one's gonna stay there.
Yeah. Everyone's like, we're running for our lives.
Yeah.
Running back to
Nobody
our
was
lives.
running
back to
your lives. That's what it was all about. And that's what I was actually a little bit disappointed in. We broke down camp Sunday morning, and it started raining again. We were supposed to burn the man that night, and then burn the temple at 1 in the morning. It wasn't going to happen. So it got pushed to Monday. And we were thinking, oh, look at the weather. It's not going to happen Monday either.
Yeah.
And my friend's son, Carlos, his son, Tanner, he had to be, first day of college, he's going to graduate school on Tuesday. And we didn't want to put him in that predicament. So we have 4-wheel drive, and we said, we're getting out.
Did it struggle still with the 4-wheel?
We were spinning a little bit, but never to the point where we were even thinking about getting stuck, because once you start going, you go. There was one section where they stopped everybody. There was like a river coming through the main road, and the river was probably 30 feet long. You got to get through. You drive through it and you just keep going, and then you keep going and you don't stop. So that was the only way to get through, and the sheriff was there to make sure, and they only put one person through at a time. We made it through that, and it was kind of cool, because it was like, did you
have to actually jump a river?
Through a creek? River. Under the river, through the river, yes, yeah. And as we were doing it, we probably passed, I would think, 40 vehicles stuck in the mud, and there was no way they were going to get out anywhere. I mean, you were talking like RVs, 2-wheel drive vehicles,
anything and everything.
And we had to it was like kind of Frogger. You had to move around just to try to get around them.
Are people coming in on a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they just rode in on an enduro bike or something, or any bike, a motorcycle, just rode in on a motorcycle?
There was a couple motorcycles came in. They were coming in the same night we were coming in, and he was like waiting in a line.
Motorcycle camp.
And I looked at him, I go, dude, why are you waiting in the line? Lane split this shit and go right to the front of the line.
I was thinking of Mad Max. There'd just be a motorcycle camp or something out there.
No, nothing like that. Anyway, but again, it was all about triumph of human spirit coming through and seeing people at their absolute finest, and seeing people kind of distraughting too, but picking them up and boosting them, and that's what kind of like you do.
So you're a burner now.
I've been a burner
second
since
year, right?
last year. I've only been there 2 years, but I'm burning hard.
Okay. Well, he's back.
I'm also a nester. Cheers.
Cheers. You see how I just came in and threw some estrogen around?
Absolutely.
Thought I'd lighten it up a little bit.
We're nesting too, and I love settling into the nest because it's a comfort place. Again, I see people at their absolute finest, and they're happiest.
I like that.
You see them at their happiest, and that's what this I don't know, the human spirit is all about.
We're gonna close.
No.
Yeah, let's go. We can fly. We'll fly you in.
Yeah. I'll get stuck like Chris Rock. Well, we're glad to have Paul back.
Between a Chris Rock
back
and
on
hard
track
place.
with the podcast. He brought us some cool video.
He didn't get stuck.
He was thinking about the nest out there, so I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. He wore his shirt. Talked to the wine folks out there. So we're glad to have him back.
Yeah. Next year I will be making it to different ones. Bacchus. There's another group out there called
Bacchus?
Bacchus.
Like my Bacchus up here?
Yeah,
That's
like
a
your
good time.
Bacchus.
If a Bacchus is around, then that's a good time.
They do a stemware
Absolutely.
tasting. A stemware tasting. So you had to get in here early on that. Definitely be part of that next year, but it dropped right when the rain dropped. The times that I could get over there. So we'll get to that. It's coming.
But in the end, it's so huge, right? It's like you can't possibly see it all.
No,
No?
you can't. You try to. You
spend
there's
your whole time
There's a
trying to make
book.
it through.
Right, how could you make it around?
There's a book that shows everything, every event that you want. Like you could even filter it. Like I want food, okay, and boom, it'll give you all the food. Like I get up.
I want wine.
You want wine? It does. Cigars. Scotch camps. There's a camp, MacGyver camp. There's a camp, if you're the guy that fixes everything at your camp, you need to become part of the MacGyver Union. You could join the MacGyver Union. Yeah.
Boy, you guys are in your own little bubble out there.
Trade secrets.
Right?
It is about, absolutely.
That's what it's about, right? This is what I hear.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. You guys are coming together. It's community driven.
Absolutely, and that's just kind of like what this place is here.
Yeah.
That's the
exactly.
remarkable thing about it is it
is.
There is a parallel to the community I see here and the community you see there. Everybody's there to uplift each other and actually add to each other's experience rather than subtract.
Yeah.
Where you can see a lot of that at some local bars.
Yeah. You can.
Yeah, and anyway, I look forward to taking this thing on the road again when I go to Italy.
Yep, on location.
So we're going to take the
On
grape nest
location.
on location.
So what do you think about that Zinfandel you're drinking?
I love it. We were talking about it a
I'm
little
drinking a
earlier.
new Sauvignon Blanc too.
Oh, what's
Sauvignon Blanc is the Lobster Reef. It's from the Lobster Reef
from
in New Zealand.
Marlborough, New Zealand.
Yeah.
See, now Robin was huge about that. He's from Vines Without Borders.
Mm-hmm.
He had some New Zealand wine there as well. And
New Zealand makes great white wine.
absolutely.
Nice minerality, crisp and refreshing. Acidity is just right. Great structure.
That was the thing about it. There was that, what you just mentioned, was that minerality to the white wine that we had tasted.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of minerality in
I'll
their
have
soil.
to go back and look at that video again because I forgot what exactly, if it was a Marlboro or it was another white wine.
Had a little taste of playa.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I have a La Playa behind me. It's a Chilean Merlot.
Let's do it.
It's called La Playa. So
Nobody's
that's
made
crack that
the
open.
beach.
Nobody's made the playa wine yet.
no,
Ooh.
not that we know of yet.
You can't grow
Not
anything
yet.
out. You can't grow
Not
anything out there.
No.
No,
In the
but
middle of desert.
it's all branding and name inspiring or something.
What I'll do is
Well, that's copyrighted anyway. But
we'll bring a scoop of the playa mud and sand and just throw it at the foot of one of these ancient fine zins.
Didn't you have one? You had mud something? What was it?
Mud House. It was a great
Yeah,
New
you could
Zealand
have mud
wine.
ply.
It was really good too. And unfortunately, my distributor stopped carrying that, and I'm
Who was
searching
that from?
for it again. It's another New Zealand white wine that was exceptional. So I'll find it. You know me, I'll find it. I got my people out there finding me good stuff. I had incredibly great Spanish wines. I had and Australian. I've been busy this week. So yesterday I had a meeting with Italian wine. Great stuff. Same guy came a couple hours later with Spanish wine, Albarino. And then today I met with somebody that was Australian wine. So we're getting new wines soon. Narrowing it down to what I like the best. And everything's carefully curated, so it takes me a little bit of time. Taste, pick, and choose. But coming soon.
Was it Michael?
More good stuff. No, Michael's in San Diego right now.
Oh.
I have another guy. You know, I got guys everywhere.
She's like, I know a guy who knows.
Yeah.
I know a guy
who
here.
knows a guy.
I know a guy there. I know a guy in Portugal. No, but good stuff to come. Grape Nest is always searching for new stuff.
That's what's so great. There is no parameter
That's
to
right.
what you bring
There's
in
great
here.
wine, and it's worldwide.
You're not going to be held to one
No.
certain region or
one
the
certain
same
grape. Yeah.
menu time and time again.
A lot of people don't want to come out of their box. I like a Merlot. Well, let's try something comparable. Make it you a Grenache.
They're drinking
See
out
if
of
you
the
like a
wine box.
Grenache. Introduce you to something new. Step out of your comfort zone.
Step out of your box.
That's right.
Your black box wine.
That's right. Step out of the box.
This is they got a box of Zinfandel.
Don't box you in.
It's a wide world of great wine.
Wine in a milk carton.
You know, Sam was in France. He spent some time in Bordeaux with his family, and he said he was
Did he?
amazed because
They were drinking what?
they
Yeah.
were drinking boxed wine, and he was like, "Why are you guys drinking boxed wine?" They were in Centimiliani. It was fantastic boxed wine.
Good wine.
But he's just thinking box, like who's drinking this, right?
It was
No,
just-
well, the Europeans don't look at it that way. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great wines that are in a box. Campouget is in a box in France.
That's so weird
So-
because Campouget is such a
Yeah,
sexy bottle
right.
over here.
Right. They'll
Maybe
put
you
it in a
sold-
box over
maybe
there.
if you sold it in like a wood oak box.
I mean, they're a little bit fancy,
No,
yeah, but I mean,
think
still.
I think it has to do more with
Yeah.
the environmental impact.
Yes, absolutely.
Corks
And a lot of these
Corks
old
versus
vineyards
screw
are conscious and want to say woke about it now.
I like the screw tops. It's easy to get into.
I wouldn't use that
They
word.
they make it for us. The screw tops are people like me that are uncorking all day, every day, and pouring. The market reacted. They love the screw tops.
Well-
People love to go home and not have to fight with the cork. So
and
that worked out.
It's great if you're like, if you have it at a dinner and, you know,
Yeah, easy
there's
access.
a couple of you,
know,
well, that and you can't finish the bottle, instead of having to try to jam the cork back in there.
and as soon as the cork comes out, it expands. You can't always get it back in. It's just a whole to-do with the cork.
Yeah, especially with champagne. You'll
Yeah.
never get it.
Oh yeah, no, right? Yeah, you better drink that bottle or put a stopper in it.
I haven't seen the twisted sparkling yet.
No,
No, I don't think you'll
I don't
ever-
think that'll happen.
No.
No,
Not
Yeah,
yet.
no, they're
Well-
keeping it. They're keeping it carbonated. They're keeping the bubbles in there.
Yeah. Because
It's in there with
I think
force,
the
that cork.
pressure would be just a little too much
Yeah.
for a twist.
It'd probably go flat very easily in a screw top.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a flat soda. Nobody wants a flat
Don't knock
soda.
it till you try it.
Well, first we
You're
have
right.
to see it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever's going to be the
Well,
first. to
cheers.
do it.
I gotta get back to
Cheers.
work.
All right.
You
Thanks
know,
for
I do
stopping
have
by,
customers.
Marlena.
I thought I'd
Wanna
stop
wrap it
by,
up?
throw some estrogen in here.
Episode.
Carry
27.
on.
All right, guys. We end it.
Yeah, let's
Wrap it up.
Are we out?
I said, oh, yeah. We had a good run.
Yeah, that was good. How long was that? Like 30 minutes?
At least or more. I'll have to check on that. Hold on.
Any viewers?
277.